Part 1. Introduction to the Simulation Hypothesis. Good evening, dear listener. As you settle into your comfortable space, allow your mind to drift gently into a state of relaxation. Imagine yourself reclining in a cozy armchair, the soft glow of a lamp casting warm light around the room. The world outside fades away as we embark on a tranquil journey into the realms of thought and imagination. Tonight we explore the intriguing concept known as the simulation hypothesis, the proposition that our reality might be an intricate computer-generated simulation. The simulation hypothesis suggests that everything we perceive, the vast cosmos, the earth beneath our feet, the very essence of our being, could be part of an advanced digital construct, akin to an immensely sophisticated video game. This idea challenges our traditional understanding of existence, inviting us to ponder the nature of reality itself. Origins of the simulation hypothesis. The notion that our reality might be an illusion is not new. Throughout history, various cultures and philosophies have contemplated similar ideas. Ancient philosophies. In ancient China, the philosopher Zhuangzi mused about the nature of reality in his famous butterfly dream, questioning whether he was a man dreaming of being a butterfly or a butterfly dreaming of being a man. Similarly, the Indian philosophy of Maya describes the world as an illusion, emphasizing the transient and deceptive nature of sensory experiences. Plato's allegory of the cave. In Western philosophy, Plato's allegory of the cave depicts prisoners who perceive shadows on a wall, mistaking them for reality. This metaphor illustrates how our perceptions might be limited, suggesting that the true essence of existence lies beyond our immediate sensory experiences. René Descartes' evil demon. The 17th century philosopher René Descartes proposed the idea of an evil demon capable of deceiving our senses, making us believe in a fabricated reality. This thought experiment delves into the reliability of our perceptions and the potential for deception. Modern formulation by Nick Bostrom in contemporary times. The simulation hypothesis was notably advanced by philosopher Nick Bostrom in his 2003 paper, Are You Living in a Computer Simulation? Bostrom presents a trilemma, proposing that one of the following statements is highly likely to be true. Technological limitation. Human civilizations are unlikely to reach a level of technological maturity capable of creating high-fidelity simulations of conscious beings. Lack of interest. Advanced civilizations that achieve such technological capabilities may have little or no interest in running simulations of their evolutionary history or variations thereof. Simulated reality. A significant fraction of beings with experiences similar to ours are living in a computer simulation. Bostrom's argument hinges on the premise that if future civilizations can create realistic simulations, and if they choose to do so, the number of simulated beings would vastly outnumber those in the original, real universe. Consequently, it becomes statistically plausible that we are among the simulated entities. Implications of the simulation hypothesis. Contemplating the simulation hypothesis leads to profound questions about our existence. Nature of consciousness. If we are simulated beings, what does that imply about consciousness? Can self-awareness arise within a computer program, and does it differ from biological consciousness? Reality and perception. How do we define reality if our perceptions are artificially generated? Is there a tangible difference between a simulated experience and a real one. Ethical considerations. What responsibilities would the creators of such simulations have toward their sentient creations? Would simulated beings possess rights or moral considerations? As you relax and let these thoughts gently flow through your mind, consider the vast possibilities that the simulation hypothesis presents. It invites us to explore the boundaries of knowledge, perception, and existence, all while nestled comfortably in the familiar surroundings of our own reality. Part 2. Exploring the nature of reality. As we continue our tranquil journey into the simulation hypothesis, let's delve deeper into the nature of reality and how this concept challenges our conventional understanding of existence. Imagine yourself now in a serene garden, where the gentle rustling of leaves and the soft chirping of birds create a harmonious symphony, inviting contemplation and introspection. Perception and reality. Our perception of reality is largely constructed by our senses: sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. These senses transmit information to our brain, which then interprets and constructs our experience of the world. However, this process raises intriguing questions. Subjectivity of experience. Each individual's perception is unique, influenced by personal experiences, emotions, and cognitive processes. This subjectivity suggests that reality, as we perceive it, may differ from person to person. Limitations of senses. Our senses have limitations. For instance, we cannot see ultraviolet light or hear ultrasonic sounds. This implies that there are aspects of reality beyond our sensory capabilities, hinting at a more complex existence than we can directly perceive. Virtual realities and simulations. Advancements in technology have introduced us to virtual realities, computer-generated environments that can mimic real-world experiences. These developments offer a glimpse into the possibilities of simulated realities, immersive experiences. Modern virtual reality (VR) systems can create immersive experiences that engage multiple senses, making the simulated environment feel remarkably real. Applications of VR. Beyond entertainment, VR is used in fields like medicine, education, and training, demonstrating the potential of simulations to replicate and influence real-world scenarios. Philosophical implications. The simulation hypothesis intersects with various philosophical discussions. Solipsism. This philosophical idea posits that only one's mind is sure to exist, and knowledge of anything outside one's own mind is uncertain. If our reality is a simulation, it aligns with solipsistic notions, questioning the existence of an objective reality. Determinism versus free will. In a simulated reality, the extent of our free will comes into question. Are our choices genuine, or are they predetermined by the parameters of the simulation? Scientific perspectives. While the simulation hypothesis is largely philosophical, it has garnered attention in scientific circles. Falsifiability. A core principle of scientific inquiry is falsifiability, the ability to prove a hypothesis wrong. The simulation hypothesis presents challenges in this regard, as any evidence we gather could itself be part of the simulation. Search for evidence. Some scientists propose looking for anomalies or limitations in the physical laws as potential indicators of a simulated reality. However, no conclusive evidence has been found to support or refute the hypothesis. As you relax in this contemplative space, let your mind wander through these reflections on reality and perception. The simulation hypothesis invites us to question the very fabric of our existence, blending the boundaries between the known and the unknown, the real and the imagined. Part 3: Technological Foundations and Possibilities. As we continue our serene exploration of the simulation hypothesis, let's delve into the technological aspects that underpin this intriguing concept. Imagine yourself now in a tranquil library, surrounded by shelves filled with books and the soft glow of reading lamps, creating an atmosphere of quiet contemplation. Advancements in computing power. The feasibility of creating a simulated reality hinges on the capabilities of computational technology. Over the past decades, we've witnessed exponential growth in computing power, guided by principles such as Moore's law, which observed that the number of transistors on a microchip doubles approximately every 2 years, leading to increased performance and efficiency. This rapid advancement has brought us closer to developing highly sophisticated simulations, so are virtual reality and artificial intelligence. Two pivotal technological domains contribute to the plausibility of the simulation hypothesis. So are virtual reality, VR. Modern VR systems immerse users in interactive, computer-generated environments, engaging multiple senses to create lifelike experiences. As VR technology advances, the line between simulated and actual experiences continues to blur. So artificial intelligence, AI, has made significant strides, enabling machines to learn, adapt, and perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. In the context of simulations, AI could be employed to create autonomous, intelligent entities within virtual environments, enhancing their realism and complexity. So we're simulating consciousness. A profound aspect of the simulation hypothesis involves the simulation of consciousness itself. If a simulation can replicate not just the external world, but also the subjective experiences of individuals, it raises questions about the nature of consciousness and self-awareness. Some theories, such as algorithmic idealism, propose that reality and consciousness emerge from informational patterns and computational processes, aligning with the notion of a simulated existence. There were Wikipedia challenges and considerations. Several challenges must be addressed to realize a fully immersive conscious simulation. So a challenge to simulation, simulating an entire universe with intricate details, requires immense computational resources. While computing power continues to grow, achieving such a feat remains a formidable challenge. So ethical implications. Creating conscious entities within simulations raises ethical questions about their rights and the responsibilities of their creators. If simulated beings possess self-awareness, considerations regarding their well-being become pertinent. So as you relax in this contemplative space, ponder the technological marvels that have brought us closer to understanding and potentially creating simulated realities. The convergence of computing power, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence not only transforms our daily lives, but also invites us to reconsider the very fabric of existence. Part 4. The simulation hypothesis in popular culture. As we continue our tranquil exploration of the simulation hypothesis, let's delve into how this concept has permeated popular culture, inspiring various forms of media and storytelling. Imagine yourself now in a cozy living room, the soft glow of a television casting gentle light as you relax into the cushions, ready to journey through the realms of imagination. Influence on cinema. The simulation hypothesis has significantly influenced the film industry, leading to the creation of thought-provoking movies that challenge our perception of reality. The Matrix, 1999. This iconic film portrays a dystopian future where humans unknowingly live in a simulated reality called the Matrix, created by sentient machines to subdue the human population. The protagonist, Neo, discovers the truth and joins a rebellion against the machines. The film delves into themes of reality, perception and freedom, drawing inspiration from philosophical works such as Jean Baudrillard's Simulacra and Simulation. The 13th Floor, 1999. In this science fiction thriller, a computer scientist discovers that his reality is a simulation within another simulation, leading to a complex narrative that questions the nature of existence and consciousness. So Inception, 2010. While not explicitly about simulated realities, this film explores the manipulation of dreams to the point where distinguishing between dream and reality becomes challenging, echoing themes related to the simulation hypothesis. So in literary contributions, the concept of simulated realities has also been a rich source of inspiration in literature. So in Simulacrum 3 by Daniel F. Gallupi, 1964. This novel explores a simulated reality created for market research purposes, where the inhabitants are unaware of their artificial nature. It raises questions about identity and the ethics of creating conscious simulations. So in Permutation City by Greg Egan, 1994. This science fiction novel delves into the idea of consciousness existing within computer simulations, exploring the implications of creating digital copies of human minds and the nature of reality itself. So in Wikipedia documentary exploration, the simulation hypothesis has also been examined in documentary films. So in Wikipedia, A Glitch in the Matrix, 2021. This documentary investigates the idea that reality could be a simulation, featuring interviews with individuals who believe in the hypothesis and exploring its cultural impact. So impact on video games. The realm of video games offers immersive experiences that parallel the concept of simulated realities. So in series, players control virtual characters in simulated environments, making decisions that affect their lives, mirroring the idea of higher entities influencing a simulated world. So in Minecraft, this game allows players to create and manipulate vast virtual worlds, highlighting the potential of constructing and experiencing simulated realities. So as you relax and reflect on these cultural manifestations, consider how the simulation hypothesis has inspired creators to explore the boundaries between reality and illusion. These narratives invite us to question our perceptions and ponder the nature of existence, all within the comforting embrace of storytelling. Part 5. Philosophical implications of the simulation hypothesis. As we continue our tranquil exploration of the simulation hypothesis, let's delve into the profound philosophical questions it raises. Imagine yourself now in a serene study, where the soft glow of a desk lamp illuminates ancient philosophical texts, inviting deep contemplation. The nature of reality. The simulation hypothesis challenges our fundamental understanding of reality, say the objective, perceived reality. If our experiences are the result of a simulation, it blurs the line between objective reality and subjective perception. This echoes philosophical debates about the nature of existence and what it means for something to be real. They were epistemological questions. How can we know the true nature of our reality? This question aligns with epistemology, the branch of philosophy concerned with knowledge, belief, and the nature of truth. Over consciousness and identity. The hypothesis also prompts us to reconsider notions of consciousness and self. Over simulated consciousness. If we are part of a simulation, is our consciousness genuine, or is it an emergent property of complex computations? This leads to inquiries about the nature of self-awareness and the essence of being. Over personal identity. What defines our identity? If our experiences and memories are artificially generated. This question touches on the philosophical concept of personal identity and what it means to be oneself over time. Over ethical considerations. The possibility of living in a simulation raises unique ethical dilemmas. Over moral responsibility. If our actions are predetermined by a simulation, do we bear moral responsibility for them? This challenges traditional views on free will and ethics. Over treatment of simulated beings. If we were to create our own simulations with conscious entities, what ethical obligations would we have toward them? This mirrors debates in artificial intelligence ethics regarding the treatment of sentient AI. Over existential reflections. Contemplating the simulation hypothesis can lead to existential introspection. Over purpose and meaning. If our reality is simulated, does it diminish the meaning of our lives, or can meaning be found regardless of the nature of our existence? Over connection to a greater whole. The idea that we might be part of a larger construct can inspire feelings of interconnectedness, or, conversely, isolation, depending on one's perspective. Over as you relax and ponder these philosophical dimensions, consider how the simulation hypothesis serves as a modern lens through which to explore age-old questions about reality, consciousness, and the human experience. Part 6. Scientific perspectives and criticisms. As we continue our serene exploration of the simulation hypothesis, let's delve into the scientific viewpoints and critiques surrounding this intriguing concept. Imagine yourself now in a quiet observatory, the dome overhead revealing a tapestry of stars, inviting contemplation of the vastness of the cosmos and our place within it. Scientific investigations into the simulation hypothesis. While the simulation hypothesis is primarily philosophical, some scientists have ventured to explore its testable aspects. So search for anomalies. Researchers have proposed examining the universe for physical anomalies or limitations that might suggest a simulated nature, such as detecting pixelation in space-time or inconsistencies in physical laws. However, no empirical evidence has been found to support this notion. Due to cosmic rays and resolution limits, some hypotheses suggest that if the universe were simulated, there might be observable limits to the energy of cosmic rays, analogous to resolution limits in computer simulations. Experiments have yet to reveal such constraints, leaving the hypothesis without empirical support. Those are critiques and counter-arguments. Several criticisms challenge the plausibility of the simulation hypothesis. Soothe computational limitations, simulating an entire universe with its intricate details, would require computational resources beyond our current understanding, casting doubt on the feasibility of such a simulation. Soothe complexity of consciousness. The emergence of consciousness from computational processes remains an unresolved question. Critics argue that replicating the subjective experience of consciousness in a simulation may be fundamentally unattainable. Soothe anthropic reasoning. Some philosophers question the anthropic reasoning underlying the hypothesis, suggesting that it may be philosophically speculative and lacking falsifiability, thereby challenging its scientific validity. Soothe philosophical debates. The simulation hypothesis also intersects with classic philosophical thought experiments. Soothe, brain in a vat. This thought experiment envisions a brain sustained in a vat and fed artificial stimuli, leading it to perceive a simulated reality. It raises questions about the nature of perception and knowledge, similar to those posed by the simulation hypothesis. Soothe Chinese room argument, proposed by philosopher John Searle. This argument questions whether a system processing symbols, like a computer, can possess understanding or consciousness, challenging the notion that computational simulations can replicate human cognition. Soothe relax and reflect on these scientific and philosophical perspectives. Consider how the simulation hypothesis serves as a bridge between empirical inquiry and metaphysical speculation, inviting us to ponder the profound nature of reality and our existence within it. Part 7. Religious and spiritual perspectives. As we continue our tranquil exploration of the simulation hypothesis, let's delve into how this concept intersects with various religious and spiritual perspectives. Imagine yourself now in a peaceful sanctuary where the soft glow of candlelight and the gentle hum of a distant choir create an atmosphere of reverence and contemplation. Parallels with religious narratives. The simulation hypothesis shares intriguing similarities with certain religious and spiritual narratives. To us, creation by a higher power. Many religious traditions speak of the universe being created by a divine entity. Similarly, the simulation hypothesis posits that our reality could be the product of an advanced intelligence, drawing a parallel between a creator deity and a cosmic programmer. The illusory nature of the world. In Hindu philosophy, the concept of Maya describes the world as an illusion, emphasizing that our perceived reality is not the ultimate truth. This resonates with the idea that our universe might be a simulated construct, masking a deeper underlying reality. So were the God helmet and neurotheology. Scientific studies have explored the neurological basis of spiritual experiences, offering insights that intersect with the simulation hypothesis. So were the God helmet. Developed by neuroscientist Michael Persinger, this apparatus uses weak magnetic fields to stimulate the temporal lobes of the brain. Some users have reported mystical experiences or a sensed presence, suggesting that spiritual sensations can be artificially induced, akin to simulated experiences. Eugenetic research has proposed that spirituality might be influenced by our biology. So were the VMAT2 gene. Geneticist Dean Haumer introduced the idea of the God gene, suggesting that the VMAT2 gene predisposes individuals to spiritual or mystical experiences. This hypothesis implies that our inclination toward spirituality could be an inherent part of our genetic makeup, potentially influencing how we perceive and interact with the simulated reality. So the simulation hypothesis also invites philosophical contemplation, so as a morpholos hypothesis. This idea proposes that the universe was created with the appearance of age, such as trees with growth rings or light from distant stars already en route to Earth. It parallels the notion that a simulated universe could be designed with built-in history and artifacts, challenging our understanding of authenticity and origin. So relax and reflect on these intersections between the simulation hypothesis and religious or spiritual perspectives. Consider how this concept invites us to ponder the nature of existence, the possibility of a creator, and the essence of reality itself. Part 8. Socio-cultural implications of the simulation hypothesis. As we continue our tranquil exploration of the simulation hypothesis, let's delve into its profound impact on society and culture. Imagine yourself now in a quiet cafe, the soft murmur of conversations blending with the gentle clinking of cups, creating an ambiance that invites reflection on the interplay between reality and representation, hyperreality and media saturation. The simulation hypothesis aligns with the concept of hyperreality, introduced by philosopher Jean Baudrillard. Hyperreality describes a condition where the distinction between reality and simulation blurs, leading to a world where representations become more real than reality itself. In our media-saturated society, images and symbols often precede and shape our perception of the real world, creating a simulated version of reality that we accept as authentic. Old consumer culture and simulacra. Baudrillard's notion of simulacra, copies without an original, reflects how consumer culture operates. Brands and advertisements create desires for products that serve as symbols of status or identity, often detached from their practical utility. This phenomenon leads to a society where individuals chase simulated ideals, blurring the line between genuine needs and artificially constructed wants. Digital realities and social media. The rise of digital platforms and social media has further entrenched the principles of hyperreality. So are curated identities. Individuals craft online personas that may differ significantly from their offline selves, presenting idealized versions that others perceive as real. So are echo chambers. Algorithms tailor content to user preferences, creating feedback loops that reinforce specific viewpoints, potentially distorting one's perception of reality. So are art and literature. The simulation hypothesis has inspired various artistic and literary works that challenge our understanding of reality. So are visual arts. Artists create installations that immerse viewers in simulated environments, prompting reflections on the nature of perception and existence. So are literature. Novels explore themes of simulated realities, questioning the authenticity of experience and the essence of being. So relax in this contemplative space. Consider how the simulation hypothesis and related concepts influence our daily lives, shaping our perceptions, desires, and interactions. This reflection invites us to question the authenticity of our experiences and the constructs that define our reality. Part 9. Scientific investigations and critiques. As we continue our serene exploration of the simulation hypothesis, Let's delve into the scientific endeavors and criticisms associated with this intriguing concept. Imagine yourself now in a quiet observatory, where the vast expanse of the night sky invites contemplation of the mysteries of the universe. Scientific investigations into the simulation hypothesis. While the simulation hypothesis is primarily philosophical, some scientists have proposed methods to test its validity, called detection of computational limits. Researchers have suggested that a simulated universe might exhibit detectable limitations, such as finite computational resources leading to observable anomalies in physical laws. For instance, physicist Silas R. Bean and colleagues proposed that if our universe is a simulation, there might be observable constraints in the behavior of cosmic rays, analogous to resolution limits in a computer simulation. However, no empirical evidence has been found to support this notion. Quantum phenomena. Some theories propose that quantum mechanics could reveal underlying computational structures. The discrete nature of quantum states might hint at a digital framework analogous to bits in computing. However, this interpretation remains speculative and lacks empirical support. Critiques and counterarguments. Several criticisms challenge the plausibility of the simulation hypothesis. Computational limitations. Simulating an entire universe with its intricate details would require computational resources beyond our current understanding, casting doubt on the feasibility of such a simulation. Physicist Frank Wilczek argues that the complexity and specificity of the laws of physics we observe are unnecessary and extraneous in the simulation, suggesting that the hypothesis is implausible. Self-defeating nature. Some philosophers argue that if we accept the simulation hypothesis, it undermines the reliability of our empirical knowledge, including the science that led to the hypothesis itself. This self-defeating character challenges the rational basis for believing in the hypothesis. Lack of falsifiability. The simulation hypothesis is criticized for being unfalsifiable. It does not make testable predictions that could prove or disprove it. As such, some scholars argue that it falls outside the realm of scientific inquiry and into metaphysical speculation. As you relax and reflect on these scientific perspectives and critiques, consider how the simulation hypothesis serves as a bridge between empirical inquiry and philosophical contemplation, inviting us to ponder the profound nature of reality and our place within it. Part 10. Implications for free will and determinism. As we conclude our tranquil exploration of the simulation hypothesis, let's delve into its profound implications for concepts of free will and determinism. Imagine yourself now in a serene garden, where the gentle rustling of leaves and the soft chirping of birds create an atmosphere conducive to deep contemplation. Determinism and the simulation hypothesis. Determinism posits that all events, including human actions, are determined by preceding causes, following the natural laws of the universe. Within a simulated reality, this concept takes on a new dimension. In programmed reality. If our universe operates as a simulation, it may be governed by predefined algorithms and rules set by the simulator. This perspective suggests that all events, including human decisions, could be outcomes of these programmed parameters, aligning with a deterministic framework. Predictability. In a deterministic simulation, every action and event could, in theory, be predicted if one had access to the underlying code and initial conditions. This mirrors the classical deterministic view that, given complete knowledge of the present, the future is entirely predictable. Soothe free will in a simulated context. The notion of free will, the ability to make choices unconstrained by external forces, faces unique challenges within the simulation hypothesis, soothe illusion of choice. If our thoughts and actions are the results of complex computations within a simulation, our sense of making free choices might be an illusion. We could be following a script encoded by the simulator, with our consciousness merely experiencing these preordained decisions. Soothe Bernard and properties. Alternatively, it's possible that free will emerges naturally within the simulation. Just as complex behaviors can arise from simple rules in computational models, autonomous decision-making could be an emergent property of the simulated consciousness, providing a form of free will within the deterministic confines of the simulation. Soothe philosophical considerations. The simulation hypothesis invites us to revisit long-standing philosophical debates. Soothe compatibilism. This viewpoint suggests that free will and determinism are not mutually exclusive. Even in a deterministic simulation, individuals might possess free will if their actions align with their desires and intentions, regardless of the underlying programmed nature of those desires. Soothe consequence argument. Philosopher Peter van Inwagen's consequence argument posits that if determinism is true, our actions are consequences of laws and events beyond our control, challenging the notion of free will. In a simulated reality, this argument gains a new layer, questioning whether simulated beings can possess genuine autonomy. Neuroscientific perspectives. Advancements in neuroscience have explored the neural basis of decision-making, offering insights relevant to the simulation hypothesis. Soothe readiness potential. Studies have identified neural activity preceding conscious decisions, suggesting that the brain initiates actions before we become aware of them. This finding raises questions about the nature of free will, both in a biological and simulated context. Soothe manipulating intentions. Experiments have demonstrated that stimulating specific brain regions can influence the perceived intention to move, indicating that our sense of agency can be manipulated. In a simulation, such manipulations could be part of the programmed experience, further blurring the lines between free will and determinism. As you relax in this contemplative space, consider how the simulation hypothesis challenges and enriches our understanding of free will and determinism. Whether our reality is simulated or not, these reflections invite us to ponder the essence of choice, autonomy, and the intricate tapestry of existence.